Hey guys, I'm back. Let me start my timer. I keep running out of time. I don't know why I can't get so much done in the time that I've got, which is like 10 minutes. When I watch some of the other CodeIgniter tutorials that are done by Derek Allard and people like that, they seem to get so much content in the short amount of time. But anyway, that's my problem. So this is the form validation rules, and we're going to repeat this for each of our fields. One thing I did leave out was that it's very important. One of the very important rules to put in here. It was actually a function that you can pass to the validation rules class thing here, is the XSS clean, and that gets rid of what is it called? Let me show you. There's these are the functions. So this one runs the data through the XSS filtering function, which is described in this class here. It basically gets rid of that cross-site scripting, or whatever it's called. It basically protects you against SQL injection attacks and all that sort of thing as well. So some of the things that we're going to use, some of the things you can use, like for valid email, for example, is a good one for our email field. So I'm going to go through and just really roughly do a couple of these. So this is my name, email, and say we've got the password as well, and give them a name. Email address, for example, password. Oh, and a good one is that for the password confirmation field, I think that's what I called it. Let's just check this. Password confirmation, password underscore conf. You can actually say that it must match the other password field. So we can actually say in here, one of the rules is that it matches. What's the parameter? Let me just look this up over here. Matches, and then the field. So password. Pretty easy, right? Good stuff. So min length for a password, 6 sounds good. 6 for there. If you've got database limitations on maximum size, you can put that in there. Don't forget the XSS clean on every single one, unless of course it's an integer, in which case you can specify a rule to say that it must be an integer, and that will achieve the same thing. So that's all our fields, I think. Name, username, email, password, and password confirmation. The email one, we forgot to say that it must be an email, so we can put in a rule here to say that it's a valid email. That's pretty much it. I do other things as well. For example, like you may want to set the username to lowercase here, for example. String to lower. Alright, so you can just pass functions, string functions like that. As long as they take one parameter, you can put them in here, and they'll do their work as part of the process. So there's all our fields. Now we've got them all as required. That's correct. I think they all need to be required. So what happens now if we run the form? I won't post back again. I'll just run it from scratch. Okay, and if we leave everything blank, we should get a bunch of errors. Alright, username field required, name field, email, password, and password. Oh, that's wrong. That needs to be password confirmation. Password confirmation. Sorry, a bit of indigestion from my beautiful Thai basil chicken stir-fried rice that I had for dinner tonight. Okay, so that's that. Right, so if we put in, too short there, invalid email address. Alright, and valid password. Oh, there's no way they got that right. Actually, yeah, that's a good one, right? So we're going to get a whole bunch of different errors now. It actually evaluates all of them and tells them all the problems that you got. Okay, but what's going on every time we post it? We're losing the values that we had in there, so we've got to type them all again, and that's obviously no good. So the problem with that is here, every time we're setting the value back to nothing again. So what we do instead is we use a function which comes with the form validation library, which is called setValue, and you just pass back in the field again. So we're passing back in username. Okay, for this one. Oh, get rid of that. It's an array. Sorry. We're going to do that for all these. Okay, and then take all the fields. I don't know. Password, I'll probably leave them blank actually. But this one, email, we would pass back, and their name will pass back, and their username will pass back. Okay, so if we do this again now, we'll put in username of Alistair, a name of Alistair, Big Al, and an email address of al@alboydweb.com.au, and a password, Okay, so all that information is correct. So let me do something that's wrong. Actually, username's wrong. It's got to be more than 6. All right. So register. Username field must be at least 6 characters, and the email address field may only contain alphanumeric characters. Okay, so that's wrong. So let's go back. That's because I just copied and pasted all this. So obviously alphanumerics are wrong in the case of an email. So this should be okay now. You might want to set a maximum length and that sort of thing. In fact, you probably min length. Yeah, you probably don't need it. So you do all that. Let's post it back again. That should fix that last error, but we should still have a problem with the username field. But we're retaining all this information now because of that setValue function. So that's what we wanted. So let's just add a couple of letters to that. Put in a password and register. Alright, it worked. Do we want to save the password? No. Right? And looks good. What's it doing? Well, it's doing nothing. It's doing this bit here. So we're not loading a view or anything because we've successfully posted. So what do we want to do? At this point here is where we want to actually write our information to the database. And I don't think I'm going to have time with, 2.5 minutes left to start talking about that now. So I might call that a day for this tutorial, and in the next one we will create the database, and we will create the model, which is what we should be using to interact with our database from the controller, and that's going to be at least 1 or 2 tutorials as well, just to get that happening. And we're going to put all this information in to our database. I guess we could probably start. Actually, there's no point in prepping any of this stuff, except I guess we could assign some variables since I've got a minute to go. So here we'll get our variables ready for passing them through to the model. So we'll say the username equals this input post username. So that's how we access the username field that has been posted, and then we want name as well, etc. Right. So just to prove this, and as a quick thing before I finish the tutorial, we're going to go through the next one and finish all these, and then pass them through to the database. But I'll just echo out username for now, just to show you that this is working. So let's come back here and repost again. That's my username. Here's my name, al@alboydweb.com.au, and a password, and register. And we should, oh god, what have I done wrong? Get rid of that. I've got 20 seconds, guys. Register. Beautiful, right? Good, got to go because we're going to run out of time. Catch the next one.